Hey, what's going on, all of you fantastic freelancers? My name is William, the host of Your Anthem, and we have a pretty special video for you all today. First and foremost, apologies for the audio quality and the general production value of this video. I'm currently not in my studio, as I am with my fiance right now in quarantine. Yeah, by the way, I got engaged recently, so there's that. But today's video is a very special video as we finally have some really good details about Anthem 2.0/Next straight from BioWare. This update comes from Christian Daly, our brand new head of franchise development and Anthem live service director. Back in February, we got a little bit of information regarding Anthem 2.0 from Casey Hudson. In other words, he was just confirming the validity of the rumors and saying, yeah, they're working on a fundamental redevelopment of the game. Well, today, courtesy of Christian, we got some new details. And before we get into that, I wanted to tell you a little bit about Christian. Christian has been pretty much the guiding hand around the Cataclysm, Season of Skulls, Icetide, and with the most recent 1.7 edition. Plus, he has been pretty active on Twitter, Reddit, the EA forums, and so on and so forth. In other words, Christian has been a guiding hand getting Anthem back on track, and I think you all are really going to enjoy him even more after this video. In the blog post from BioWare, which I will link in the description below, he states that, quote, "The Anthem incubation team has kicked off, and we are starting to validate our design hypotheses. Incubation is a term we use internally. It essentially means that we are going back and experimenting/prototyping to improve on the areas we believe fell short and to leverage everything that you love currently about Anthem. We are a small team, about 30-ish, earning our way forward as we set out to hit our first major milestone goals. Spoilers, it's going to be a long process. And yes, the team is small, but the whole point of this is to take our time and go back to the drawing board, and a small team gives us the ability a larger team can't afford." End quote. Now, before I go any further into this post, I wanted to break down this a little bit by little bit. First and foremost, incubation isn't what they've been doing the entire time. This is pretty much a new development. As many of you remember, back when Jason Schreier from Kotaku wrote an article detailing what's going on behind Anthem Next and how long it's been in development, we can approximate that the conceptual phase was roughly beginning around October, aka Season of Skulls. Additionally, from that article, we received details that the BioWare Edmonton team was responsible behind all the live service things, such as Season of Skulls and Icetide, while the main team was pretty much beginning work on Anthem 2.0 in Austin. Now, BioWare Edmonton has since completely removed themselves from Anthem 2.0/Next as they are working on the Dragon Age franchise. So pretty much, BioWare Austin is the only BioWare studio working on Anthem 2.0/Next, and for the sake of brevity, I'm just going to call it Anthem 2.0 from now on. Cool? Anyways, after the concepting phase, games develop in their prototyping, aka incubation phase, that Christian was talking about. It looks like the redesign rumors were absolutely true, and while they are probably going to keep some core things, the game is going to absolutely fundamentally change from the ground up. Though I know a lot of you have a burning concern with the 30-ish devs on the team, and yeah, that's a small team to be sure. However, this is the analogy that I use. Why would you have an entire factory of 150 workers working on a car that's in the conceptual phase? In other words, still being drawn up on blueprints, and that's before even they begin the engineering process and working on the engine and so on and so forth. They haven't even done the math, so why would they need a full factory team of devs? And it's true, a smaller team does afford them to work in a tighter, more concise creative group. As opposed to 150 hands in the kitchen, you just have 30. I would consider this to be a much more reasonable and smart move in the long term. Now, what happened to those devs? Well, they didn't just magically disappear. I'm willing to bet they joined Chris Schmidt, who was one of the producers on Anthem, who left the team late last year to go work on SWTOR again for their 10-year update, and I'm willing to bet that's where a large portion of the BioWare Anthem team went to, at least the BioWare Austin team. Though, back to the article and we'll wrap up at the end. Quote, "We really wanted this experience to be different for the team and our players, but we know we have some tough challenges to tackle. We want to include you as we go, and be open and honest with where we are at and what the expectations are of where we are going. The reality is, you will see things that look awesome, but end up on the cutting room floor, or things that you really think suck that you feel we should be spending more time on, or things that you might think suck that you feel we are spending too much time on. But in the spirit of experimentation, this is all okay. We really want to provide you all with the transparency we can because of your passion and interest in Anthem. But with that comes seeing how the sausage is made, which is not always pretty, by the way. So it's evident that the Bioware team is going to be communicating with us more, and if this type of transparency is any kind of indication of what we're going to be getting, I think we're going to be in good shape for the years to come. What I ask as an Anthem content creator to you, my audience, is that you are patient with them. Yeah, you're going to see how the sausage is made, and if you all have never made sausage before, it's ugly. But bear with them, and keep your criticisms in line with constructive criticism. After all, it was a lot of the deconstructive criticism that caused the dev team to kind of clam up before. So please keep that in mind going forward. One thing I want you all to keep in mind is they do not have to show us anything at all. They could just as easily go on with the 4+ months of silence and only give us updates during these blog posts to say, hey, we're still working on Anthem. But they are doing this for us, and you do have to somewhat admire and appreciate that. So keep in mind, stuff is going to look unfinished. There are going to be things that we like and things that we don't like, and like Christian said, some things may end up on the cutting room floor. But ultimately, you and I are not developers. These are the people designing the game, and they have a lot more experience than all of us put together. The Anthem that we got was the final product of a very, very rushed game at the last minute. You have to remember, they didn't even nail down that flying was going to be a part of the game until E3 2017. And even then, fundamental things like the Interceptor Javelin was still being developed 5 months before the game even released. So take everything into account before leaving your feedback or your comments. And also remember that these guys are passionate. They are trying to do right by us. They're trying to give us the game that we had always wanted. But it's going to take time, and it's going to take us understanding that as well. He goes on to the next paragraph, which talks about starting the conversation. Quote, we also want to start putting together some regular comms out of everyone to show/talk about these changes and our progress. This blog is one example, but we also want to include you in more of the day-to-day and hopefully get some of your interactions with the team. These updates could come in the form of an ad hoc live stream, or some cool concept art posted on social media, or the occasional feed of me curled up in a ball crying in the corner. Oh, Christian, please no. Quote, we will get back to everyone on what our update canvas will look like soon as we start looping you all into our progress. Christian also is not saying don't give criticism, as in the final paragraphs he states that it's the constructive criticism and feedback we need in either direction. I hope everyone is staying safe and focusing on the things that matter most to you. As game developers, we are all very lucky for the job that we get to do, but there is some real stuff going on out there and some real heroes looking out for our safety and well-being. Take care of yourselves and each other. Stay tuned as we kick this off, and we hope to see/hear from you as we go on this journey. Stronger together. Christian. Now for my feedback. I think this is a huge step in the right direction, though it does come with some unfortunate truths that we have to accept. As an Anthem content creator, it does disappoint me, but I can't say I wasn't surprised that probably development is going to take years to work on with Anthem 2.0, and odds are it will be an entirely new game. I know some of you are very disappointed about that, and me especially. Anthem, as it currently stands, it isn't going to be abandoned. Of course, there will be updates and the rotations in the seasonal store and the rotations of the seasonal events, but for the most part, Vanilla Anthem is done. There won't be any more updates, no more changes, all so that they can focus on Anthem 2.0. Though ultimately, while it hurts, I am fine with it. You all have probably noticed with my content that I really haven't had the energy to make content. I play the game maybe once every 2 months now. I've always been really honest with you guys, and I'm going to continue doing so all throughout this process with Anthem 2.0's development. That being said, I will always keep you guys updated with either videos or community tab posts. At the earliest though, I would say Anthem is probably going to be releasing in 2022 or 2023. While there is no set time frame on it, that's the most realistic time frame possible. I talk with developers all across the industry, and regularly across different studios and not just ones owned by EA. From what they can tell me, the incubation process is probably as post-production as it can get. Post-production typically takes about 6 to 8 months. Production takes anywhere between 6 months to a year. And then of course there's the polishing and release. Whatever the future holds, whatever it brings, I'm eternally grateful to each and every last one of you. Sincerely, I am. and I'm going to keep doing this for as long as I can. Your support and viewership makes this all the better for me, and I truly love and appreciate you fantastic freelancers. I started this journey with you all 2 years before Anthem released. What's another 2 more years to see the game that we've all been waiting for? I'll be making follow-up videos when I return home and I'm actually in my studio where I'm comfortable and I can adjust the audio and whatever is needed. But I just wanted to get this video out and let you all know what's going on. But until then, my fantastic freelancer friends, stay safe, keep the conversation going. Let me know what you all think of Christian's post and what you all think of where Anthem's heading. And until then, remember, we are strong alone, but so much stronger together.